Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy at NinjaZilla90, and today I will be reviewing the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Dragon Shield Black Ranger, Zack. And I got some things to say about it, so let's get things started. And now, starting things off with the boxes, you know we gotta talk about really cool boxes when we have them. Of course, we can see this is the Black Ranger, Zack, not Adam. We can see the face of Mr. Walter Emmanuel Jones right there. We have the cool Black Ranger, the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger with the Dragon Shield front and center on the box, looking really cool. And of course we have it ages 4+, which I technically wouldn't give these figures to a 4-year-old. And we have a warning label letting you know that this is not Reese's Puffs, it's not Reese's Pieces, it's not M&M's, it's not candy, it's not edible, it's not McDonald's French fries, so don't look at this and get hungry and try to chew it up and swallow it, because it's not going to go over so well in your stomach. So, I think everybody should know better by this point. But, anyway, moving right along, we have the title of the figure. Saban's Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Dragon Shield Black Ranger, the title of the figure. We have the Hasbro logo in the bottom right corner of the box. The top of the box, nothing too interesting. The other side of the box, we get a cool picture of the fully morphed Zack as the Black Ranger with the Dragon Shield. And the back of the box, here's where things get. We get a really cool pose from the Black Ranger figure with the Power Axe, with the Dragon Shield, with the Blade Blaster in its holster, and we have the Hasbro logo at the top right corner, and of course, attention, another warning label letting you know that this is not food again, in case you haven't noticed. So yeah, they're letting you know that these figures are not edible for people who are absolutely completely brainless. So yeah, for everybody else that has brains, we all know that yeah, you don't eat action figures or any of the parts and or accessories that comes with them. So yeah, definitely do pay attention to those warning labels. But anyway, bottom of the box, nothing too interesting, and we do have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo on the right side of the box and not on the left. But anyway, that pretty much concludes it for the box. Now on to the figure. And now here we have the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Dragon Shield Black Ranger. Here right before us in all of his super cool, awesome Dragon Shield Black Ranger Morphinomenal glory. As you can see, he is mainly, the colorization of the figure is mainly black because he's the Black Ranger. Duh. Of course, we have his gloves, which are white with the Mighty Morphin, or aka the Jew Ranger diamond pattern. We have his the helmet design with the Mastodon tusk on the sides of his helmet, so really nice touch. Glad Hasbro is paying attention to detail. We have the gold Mastodon eyes at the top, and kind of have the design on the front of his helmet making up the trunk of the Mastodon, and we have the silver mouthpiece in the front as well as his visor, looking really nice. We have his white belt right there. We have the holster for his Blade Blaster, and of course we have his Power Axe, which is also really cool. We do have an effect piece that goes on the end of it, and what is cool is this actually can move forward and back, so we can put the Power Axe in gun mode to make the Power Blaster, and we can push the cock back to make the Power Axe, put the Power Axe in axe mode, so basically we can actually use this as a shotgun, kind of. We go like that. So if you want to use it kind of like a shotgun, you can. So technically, if we want to hold it like this, we can hold it like this as well. So we can put it in gun mode as well if we choose to. But that's totally up to you. Although we don't have the proper hands to hold it that way, we can put it that way anyway. So we can have the Power Axe in gun mode, but I prefer having the Power Axe in axe mode, like so, as a melee weapon, technically. But anyway, as you can see, like I said, it's the Dragon Shield Black Ranger, because it has the Dragon Shield. This is from the episode where Tommy let him lended him his Dragon Shield to protect him because he was like very weakened from a monster attack. I forgot exactly what happened, but I know he was like, Zack was like really like beat up. So, and I don't think he was able to teleport to the command center or something in the episode, so Tommy let him borrow his Dragon Shield to protect him, so that's why we have the Dragon Shield on this one. I would try to get the Dragon Shield Jason Lee Scott, the Dragon Shield Austin St. John, but yeah. Well, from the Lightning Collection, but yeah, I think that one is a lot more harder to get, so I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I'm still thinking about checking out how the Power Ranger figures are in the Super 7 line, but I am looking to collect more Lightning Collection Power Rangers figures, but I got Hiya Toys Godzilla figures to review on this channel as well, which is the biggest draw to this channel, is the Godzilla figures, Hiya Toys and SH Monster Arts. I may or may not get back into collecting SH Monster Arts, it depends, although like I said, I mentioned this in other reviews and in my posts that I feel like the quality has been dipping with SH Monster Arts, especially for the high price tags we've been paying, but that's a completely another subject for another day. I'm mainly focusing on this figure. I know I'll bring up other stuff, I'm just a talker, that's why, but anyway, getting a closer look at this figure, going over articulation. The head is on a ball joint hinge, so we can look up about that much. We can look down about that much, but it's very hindered by the Dragon Shield, so we can't really get too much of an up and down motion. We can look right and left, and we can cranium revolve this all the way around like he's on Wizards of Waverly Place. We do have a good bicep. Well, I mean, we do have a good swivel hinge at the shoulders, so we can bring those shoulders up on a hinge, and we can do a T-pose like so. We can bring them up about that much, bring them down about that much. We do have a butterfly joint in the shoulders as well, as you can see, although mine was a bit stuck, but it is doable, as you are witnessing, but you do have to work it a little bit. As you can see, it's a little bit more doable on this side. Trying not to damage that Dragon Shield, because yeah, I don't want to be replacing these figures. But anyway, we other than that, we also can swivel those arms all the way around a full 360 on the shoulders, like so. I'm a little bit more confident doing this with this than the Green Ranger, but anyway, we also have a bicep swivel, so we can swivel those biceps all the way around a full 360, like so. And we also have a double joint at the elbow as well, so that is a definite plus. And same is true with the other arm. That's something you don't have on the Super 7 figures, is double joints, but you got them on the Lightning Collection, and you have them on the Legacy Collection figures as well. And we also have a swivel hinge in the wrist, so we can swivel those hands all the way around and rock them forward and back. Same is true with the other side, so swivel it all the way around a full 360 and rock it forward and back. We do have waist articulation. We have good articulation in the torso, So the torso can lean back, lean forward, it can rock side to side, and move all the way around a full 360 and spin around the opposite way. We do have a good ab crunch, so we can bend him forward, we can bend him all the way back like that. It is good in loose, so we can move him very fluidly. I like that. Good range of motion, so that is good. We also have a good articulation in the legs and in the hips and in the feet, so the legs can kick out to the side about that much. Not very high, but we can kick out somewhat. Same is true with the other leg, although we can kick out more forward. We can do those kicks. We can do a proper roundhouse kick. We can throw some hip hop keto with the Zach man there, so we can do some cool moves. And we can also bend those knees all the way back on a double joint hinge. Same is true with the other foot. And yeah, we also have a hinge in the ankle as well, so we can point the foot all the way down for a proper roundhouse kick and bring it back up. Same is true with the other foot. And I believe, can we? No, we can pivot the feet though. Can't really rotate them, but we can pivot them forward and back like so. So we can pivot them side to side. We just can't spin them around. So that's pretty much concludes it for articulation. Now let's check under the shield. And yeah, unlike the Green Ranger figure, this actually has all three painted on Mighty Morphin Power Ranger or Jew Ranger diamonds. And yeah, getting into accessories, gonna get his accessories out of the box. Yes, this is the Zach man. This is Mr. Walter Emmanuel Jones. And no, for those of you who think a black guy being the original Black Ranger is odd, I don't think so. There's nothing wrong with the black guy being a Black Ranger, because I'm going to tell you the truth about being a Power Ranger. Being a Power Ranger ain't got nothing to do with your race, nationality, or gender, or color of your skin. It's about what's in your heart, and your fighting spirit, and your willingness to protect for the greater good, technically. It's about being a hero. It's about being a true hero at heart, not about the color of your skin, your race, nationality, and all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah, we have Zach's head, Mr. Walter Emmanuel Jones, which I am not swapping out because I don't want to. I don't want to break the neck joints because I already had to fix it in my Lord Draken figure, and I'm not risking that again. So yeah, I'm not doing that. But anyway, we have the blade blaster, which we can put in here. Alrighty, and we have the effect piece, which goes on. And we have the effect piece, which goes on the end of his power axe with this side. My bad. Okay, we'll put it in gun mode because yeah, it's gonna make more sense like that. So we have that going on, and yeah, we might want to grab it with like that if we have it in gun mode. So I'm not gonna try to. It might work. Let me see if I could get him. I'm just gonna have him hold it like this. Let it rest in his hands. And we also have a knife edge hand for some cool poses or some knife edge strikes. And we have a closed fist hand, which I think I'm just gonna leave him with the default hands out of the box so we can use the power axe unless like I'm putting him in a pose where he's using like a knife edge strike or something. But yeah, I don't think we're going to need these to do hip hop keto. I mean, is there a certain way? I mean, maybe there is knife edge strikes in hip hop keto. I'm not sure. If that's the thing, you'd have to ask Mr. Walter Emmanuel Jones, but that's the types of moves are in hip hop keto because I don't practice that martial art. I am experienced in Taekwondo though. But anyway, we have, yeah, Zach said. I also have recently got in a Black Ranger Adam the metallic armor from the I have the complete metallic armor Mighty Morphin team, so that is cool. So I do have another Black Ranger to compare this to. But anyway, that pretty much concludes it for this review. And yeah, I like this figure, and I'm glad I got him. And like I said, for people that think it is odd for a black guy to be the original Black Ranger, it is not odd at all. I'm letting you guys know. I don't think anything is wrong with that. I couldn't see it any other way. Besides, like when I watched I watched it for the first time on Netflix, the 2017 Power Rangers movie. It was okay. I didn't feel like it was the best. I didn't feel like it did the series justice enough, but it was like okay. And I just kind of felt weird by, you know, Billy being the black guy and Zach being kind of like this Asian dude. Yeah, that's kind of like Adam being the Black Ranger. It's like the black. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, this is a good figure. Glad I got him. And yeah, I am going to be wrapping this figure review up, getting into my final verdict, and giving you my final thoughts and opinions on this figure. So let's get to it. And now for my final verdict on the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Dragon Shield Black Ranger here. If I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, detail-wise, it is really good. Very show accurate. I like it. I find the dragon armor makes this figure a very appealing purchase. And to be honest, if you want a Mighty Morphin Ranger that has the dragon shield in the Lightning Collection other than Tommy, technically the Dragon Shield Mighty Morphin Black Ranger is a good option, and actually he's a figure you can get that's in abundance. If you look it up on eBay, you can get and actually you can get them at a lower price than which you can get the Green Ranger Tommy figure as well. Unfortunately, I cannot find the Mighty Morphin Dragon Shield Red Ranger Jason Lee Scott with the Dragon Shield, so yeah, it's unfortunate that I can't find I can't get the Austin St. John Dragon Shield figure to go along with this one to match with Tommy and Zach. But I might find them sooner or later for a reasonable price. I mean, they do have the one that comes with the set with the Jason Lee Scott with the Dragon Shield Red Ranger and the Zeo Gold Ranger, but I am not paying over, yeah, $250 and some odd, yeah, just for two figures in a Lightning Collection. I feel like that's a bit much. But my opinions on this figure is overall positive. Articulation wise, I would have to say articulation is good, but like I said, I feel like some of the joints in the Lightning Collection on some of the figures are a bit stiff, but this one does feel solid. I haven't seen any stiff joints on this one yet, but although, like, I have to say, like, I would say the design flaw where I do have to take points off is with the neck joint. So it, like I said, that's why I recommend like heating them up and then swapping out the heads. But even doing that, I feel like it's too much of a risk. So I do take points off for that because I feel like they could have designed that better. Playability wise, this figure doesn't pop apart. It doesn't fall apart too much. So you can pose them, you can do stop motion, you can do whatever without this figure falling apart, popping to pieces on you. So that is a definite plus. The only downside is, yeah, I feel like they could have done better with especially if they would have had swappable heads. You know, doing a better job making that where the neck joint plug, you know, connects to the top of the shoulders. They could have done that better where it stays in a lot stronger, but obviously they didn't. So I do have to take points off for that design flaw on practically all of them. So technically that brings my final score, my final verdict. In all honesty, giving this figure a drum roll please, and a final verdict of 4.5 stars. Why? Like I said, detail is good, very show accurate. I like it. I like the uniqueness of this one. It's like from that one Pacific episode, but you actually get to have this figure like forever as long as you have it. So I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, articulation is good, although, like I said, they could have done a better job and fixed up the joints where they're not so stiff, but they do loosen up over time, so that's not a problem. But like I said, I do have to take points off because of, yeah, the risk with the neck joint and swapping out the heads. Because I'm not going to do that with mine because I just feel like it's too risky, and I'm not risking the same thing happening with my other Lightning Collection figures that happened with my Lord Draken figure. So I know I said that a million times, but I'm just not taking that risk. As far as the Super 7 figures, I'm not quite sure how risky they are with swapping out the head, but I'm more than sure it's a lot easier and less risky than these. So I'm kind of considering Super 7, but I gotta see. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. That really helps out this channel. And as always, stay safe, take care, God bless, and peace out.